radical shifts and opportunities into our lives. But, and I know what you're thinking, here comes Stephanie with her but. Why is there always got to be a big but? Well, there just is, you guys. But we have to be willing to surrender and let go of our expectations. We have to surrender the ideal that has been sort of swirling around in our mind, the way we think things should be. We have to let that go. And we have to be willing to take quick, radical action at this new moon. This new moon is a change of plans, okay? It's happening on March 10th at 20 degrees of Pisces, and it's occurring in a really beautiful sextile with Uranus in the sign of Taurus. A sextile is a helpful aspect, but unlike a trine, where things sort of just flow to us with ease, with the sextile we have to do a little bit of work. We have to seek things out. We have to knock on a few doors, but when we do, the doors seem to open, okay? And so that energy is infused in this lunar cycle. A new moon in the realm of Pisces is about tapping into the otherworldly, okay? Pisces season is all about exploring the subconscious realms and our dreams. Pisces is a sign known for its strong intuition, its creativity, its sort of mystical kind of way about things. Pisces is a bridge between what is known here in third dimensional reality and what is unknown. What happens when we die? What happens when we leave this earth? It's the traveler between the worlds, as I like to say. Pisces is mysterious, it's ethereal, and it's kind of confusing. It may feel especially confusing right now because as I'm recording this on March 7th, Mercury in Pisces, no less, which is a very sort of lost kind of energy, is coming into a conjunction with Neptune. There's just sort of a fog over everything right now, and we can't quite see where this goes. Where is this leading? We don't really know yet. Pisces is a challenging season for a lot of people because Pisces themes tend to be some of the heavier, more challenging themes of our human experience. It's about letting go. It's about endings. It's about surrender. You know, Pisces is where, when we get to Pisces season, it's when we're learning that we don't really have a lot of control over things. You know, we think we do. we do stuff and we think we have control. But at the end of the day, we have to give it up to something greater than ourselves. But this is really where the magic of Pisces lies. When we surrender, when we let go with that Pisces energy, this is when we open ourselves up to the universe, to God, to source energy, which is millions and billions times more intelligent and powerful than we ever are. We open ourselves up to the bigger plan, you know, for our lives, the bigger purpose and meaning of all the things that we're experiencing. And so we must remember that after Pisces comes Aries, okay? So in a lot of ways, Pisces is the darkness before the dawn. It's the ending before the new beginning. There's a natural sort of grief or sadness about Pisces energy. It's heavy sometimes because we know that we're at the end of something. These are natural cycles. These are nature's cycles that we're all tuned into, okay? And so we can't skip past it. These are part of our life experience, our life lessons, and the zodiac, I mean, and none of the signs are any greater or more important than the other signs. They all carry a special important lesson for us. And in Pisces, our lesson is to surrender and to let go and to give it up to something greater, you know, to sort of trust that something bigger than ourselves is steering and driving this thing, okay? Especially if our lives are not where we desire them to be. And so this can be a really tough time for a lot of people, especially if you don't have a lot of water in your chart. If you like to have a sense of control over your life, Pisces can feel very overwhelming in a lot of ways. So I know this sounds a little sad and heavy. I don't mean it to, because this is a very positive and magical new moon, but we do have to be willing to let go a little bit. Pisces really has this sort of ideal in their minds, the dream, you know. Pisces can really visualize the perfect sort of, you know, dream. But rarely does life work out that way. So this is a lot of the work we do in Pisces season has a lot to do with like managing expectations. And so this is a lot about letting that go so that we can see the opportunities that are in front of us. A lot of times we get so hyper focused on the way things should be, the way we want things to be, that we close ourselves off to the infinite potentials and possibilities, the greater plan that the universe has in store for us. What if what the universe has in store for us is even better and we're just not letting it in? We're not surrendering enough to let that in. And so that's what this moon is also about. This new moon is also sandwiched between Saturn in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces. Saturn is over at like 10 degrees. Neptune's over at like 26, 27 degrees. This new moon is right in the middle, but Saturn and Neptune are technically still in the orb of conjunction. So they're still influencing this new moon energy, which really tells me that we need to strike a balance. We need to find the middle ground between these two, archetypes. We need to sort of find a balance between hard work and commitment and perseverance and overcoming obstacles, and Neptune, which mean those are Saturn things, what Saturn's Saturn's influence, I should say, on this new moon, and Neptune, which is about letting go, trusting the universe, acting on those more intuitive sort of impulses, taking action when we get the feeling, and then letting it go, then resting. Those are Neptune things, and trusting that the universe is going to take over from here. That's what this is about. This new moon, our intentions we set at this new moon will magically manifest if we can follow this recipe, okay? And really, this is the recipe, is it not? This is the part we forget about as human beings. We like to have control. We like to have say over things. But the magic really is in the letting go. The tricky part about this new moon energy is that it comes on the heels of Mars in Aquarius squaring Uranus in Taurus. On the 9th. That'll happen on the 9th. The new moon is on the 10th, and Mercury conjunct Neptune is on the 8th. So there's this boom, boom, boom of things. And so the build up to this new moon energy, I really feel like the new moon itself moving forward is going to feel like a dam breaking in a lot of ways. But the build up is frustrating. These days leading up to this new moon could be filled with, confusion, fog, frustration, changes in plans, disruptions, and good old Mars Uranus anxiety. Okay, a lot of people have been reaching out to me talking about feeling anxious, and it's true. This is really sort of a big signature for Mars square Uranus energy. And also with that Mercury Neptune, the Neptune is sort of dissolving the boundaries with that Mercury energy, which opens us up to a lot of mental energy that might not even be ours. We're picking up on a lot of things in Pisces season. So do what you can to sort of protect your boundaries, protect your energy. That will help a little bit. Do a lot of grounding work if you're feeling that anxious energy. The thing about Mars Uranus energy is that there's an intense sort of desire for things to be different. We can be really frustrated with the way things are, with the way people are acting, with the way this current circumstance in my life or whatever, and we can try to change it through sheer force of will. We can try to force our hand. We try to make things happen under this energy, which can cause a lot of people to act out in some pretty extreme ways. Be careful out there under this energy, this Mars square Uranus energy. It's one of the more difficult sort of influences in astrology. Mars, anytime it's in a square, is a little bit risky and dangerous. But these are unconscious expressions of this energy, and when we're conscious of these expressions, we know how to work with this. We can use this energy in our favor. And with Mars squaring Uranus, the real thing here is to just do something different. Take action that is different than your norm, like literally moving your body in a different way, because otherwise this can sort of come out as sort of a angry, angsty kind of rebellious kind of energy. We can act on impulse. We can do some things that we might later regret if we're not otherwise consciously using this energy. And so keep that in mind as we're moving through this new moon in Pisces energy. This new moon is a super moon. We are going to feel it. Pisces is a very feeling energy anyways, but it's amplified with that super moon energy. And also this new moon, we have to remember, is leading us into eclipse season where change is inevitable. We're feeling that now. We're sensing that now. The next full moon is a lunar eclipse in the sign of Libra. And I actually really like this eclipse, at least looking at it on paper. We'll see how we feel in a couple of weeks as we get closer to it. But I think this is going to be a nice culmination in the Libra area of our lives, where we're going to look back over the last couple of months and go, oh, okay, I get why that happened. This is starting to make some sense. And then we have our total solar eclipse in April. Now, April's huge as well. We'll talk more about that as we get closer, but April has a total solar eclipse in Aries, conjunct Chiron. That's going to be some major healing for a lot of people. And also we have, of course, the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, which I think is going to bring a lot of exciting breakthroughs into our lives. And so it all kind of, I feel like it's kicking off here at this new moon in Pisces, that Mars square Uranus energy. We're sort of opening up a door now, and things are going to start moving again and start flowing. And so I'm very excited about that. So I wanted to share a couple things you might feel under this Pisces energy, like on the emotional level, and then also some ways to work with this, be more proactive and productive with this, intense Pisces energy. So one of the things you might feel is sort of a sensory overload or overwhelm. Taste, touch, sounds, everything can just feel like too much with Pisces. Colors, lights can be too bright, clothes can feel itchy, things can taste weird, things can be too loud. Like, it's just the actual human experience can feel like a lot. And so that's a thing. Also, the emotional experience can feel very vast. You can swing from the darkest emotional depths to the highest emotional highs. Pisces is all about exploring the emotional, the full human experience and the emotional spectrum within that. And so those are two major things. Like I said, there's a sort of sadness that comes along with Pisces, with the ending of something. And more importantly, there's maybe a desire to escape. If you're not used to this heavy water energy in your chart, there can be a desire to escape through drugs, through alcohol. And I have no judgment of this, of course. Cope with the best ways that you have for navigating life. It is hard. And especially in Pisces, we're tuned into the suffering. Okay, so it can feel even more. And so there is a desire to escape some ways. So just try to find healthy ways for you. Which brings me to how we can work with this energy. One is tapping into creativity, channeling everything you're experiencing and feeling into a creative outlet. This can be very healing for not only you, but anybody you share it with. This is really one of the gifts of creating, is that we can get our emotional experience out, share it, and help other people have that emotional sort of release that they may not otherwise be able to come by. Using your imagination. Any types of spiritual practices are, of course, good for Pisces season. So praying, meditating, that sort of thing. One of the things I really like to do is I like to go out and I like to just commune with nature, with spirit. I like to watch the birds and the squirrels and the little bugs and just let them tell me a story. I like to listen to the wind and the clouds and the sky and the sun, and it's all speaking and telling you stuff. It's helping you in some way. Another thing would be to keep a dream journal, to visualize. Solitude is also great for the sign of Pisces. And then, of course, letting go, resting, sleeping. Sometimes we just need a good night's sleep, don't we? Sometimes a good night's sleep can really just make everything better all of a sudden. And that's all I really have for you guys. I hope you found it helpful. If you'd like to understand how these energies are playing out in your life, you're welcome to book a reading with me at the link in my bio. I would love to do that for you. With that said, I hope you guys have a very magical Pisces new moon and lunar cycle. Thank you for being here. My name is Stephanie. This is Twin Fox Astrology, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks.